It's a beautiful morning in the burbs as we see an ice cream truck rolling down the road. The children and their little legs try to keep up, calling for it to stop, and when it does, we get to meet the owner of the truck, Thomas Wright. A downright creepy-looking dude. Nonetheless, the line starts to form outside, and Thomas serves the kids as their parents pay him. As the moms catch up with Thomas and ask him about his day and his family, Thomas generously offers them 2 free cones on the house. He eerily says all his ice cream is made with love and care. As the afternoon comes around, Thomas heads back to his humble abode. He enters the dark home, walks into his basement, turns on the light, and that's when we see a pretty big secret Thomas is keeping. He's kidnapped a woman named Lucy Hanson, who's his latest victim. Thomas says it's time to get back to work. God only knows what that means. He grabs his apron and approaches a squirming Lucy, who is bound to the chair tightly. She has a rudimentary muzzle covering her mouth as well, so all that can be heard is muffled cries for help. Thomas carefully looks over his tools, like a kid in a candy shop. He's trying to find the right one to use on Lucy. He finds his preferred weapon, a massive kitchen knife, and he brings it to Lucy's face. Before he can go any further, he's interrupted by a knock at the door. Thomas isn't happy about this disturbance. He tells Lucy not to make a single sound and angrily leaves the knife in a wooden column before heading up to see who's at the door. When Tom gets to the door, he's greeted by a man named Aaron, who happens to be a Jehovah's Witness. Thomas ain't having it though. He tells the man he's busy, but Aaron is persistent. He tries to hold the door open to continue to try and talk with Thomas. I guess he really wanted to share the word of God with him. Meanwhile, Lucy is doing everything she can to either get out or make some noise to get some help. She even manages to flip the chair upside down on herself, causing a loud thud. Lucy lays on the ground as someone approaches the basement. All that can be seen is a silhouette coming down the steps. Lucy closes her eyes. She can hear footsteps approaching. We find out it was Thomas's footsteps, and he actually took Aaron out before bringing him downstairs with Lucy. Thomas tells Lucy this is her visitor, a cruel joke. He gets her back up and the chair upright again, and gets back to where he left off before he was interrupted. Thomas cuts off the cloth that was keeping Lucy muzzled. She coughs out some blood and asks Thomas what she did to deserve this, why he's doing this to her. The answer she gets back induces pure terror. Thomas says he's doing this to her because he has fun and enjoys it. He shows some incel tendencies too, saying that women nowadays get everything they want, while men, specifically himself, get nothing. He also makes a wild claim, saying the black guy who was at the door was her secret lover. He says he will let her go, but in pieces and on different ice cream cones. He says the kids will love the new ice cream he's going to make for them. He asks Lucy if she's scared, and adds that she definitely should be. Tom then pulls his blade across Lucy's neck in one swift motion. Her blood splatters across the basement. She doesn't die immediately though. Thomas watches the life leave her body. He tells her not to fight it, and to embrace the sweet release of death. He also jokes that he hopes it was as good for her as it was for him. Lucy eventually gives out, as she dies from blood loss, and Thomas bids her a good night and sweet dreams. The next morning, bright and early, Thomas is up and at it making the ice cream for the day, making sure to use his secret ingredients in the recipe. In other words, Lucy and Aaron's blood and guts. Ever the sicko, Thomas asks if Lucy and Aaron are ready to bring happiness to the community, directing his question at the freezers. He hits the road, and it doesn't take long for him to get his first customer. Thomas serves the man, who happily pays and walks away enjoying his ice cream, unaware of what he's really eating. We see a truly deviant look on Thomas's face as the comic ends. What a creep. Leave a like and comment if you want part 2.